The Mundaring to Kalgoorlie trek celebrated the Shire of Mundaring's historic links with engineer C.Y. O'Connor's visionary scheme to supply the West Australian goldfields with water from Mundaring Weir. This was a development, along with the railway, that not only changed people's lives and living standards, but also altered the state's future economic fortunes. My name is Robert Pearce, and I'm one of the cyclists involved in the trek. The achievement of constructing Mundaring Weir, a 569 square kilometre catchment built on the Helena River, capable of supplying in 1 year's storage 2 years' supply of fresh water, even after taking into account evaporation, was an accomplishment in itself. The laying of 560 kilometres of steel pipe purchased from Germany and America in lengths of 28 feet with diameters ranging from 26 to 31 inches, initially laid in trenches on supports, joined and sealed with lead and tar, anchored with concrete and then buried. The construction of 8 pumping stations built to house steam-driven water pumps, engines and boilers manufactured by James Simpson & Co. of London, and then shipped to Australia and installed to lift and pump the water east to the goldfields. A railway built alongside the pipeworks as work progressed to transport construction equipment and personnel for the works, all at a total cost of £2,660,000 and less than 5 years construction time. The trek follows the historic pipeline from Mundaring Weir to Kalgoorlie, travelling approximately 580 kilometres by horse, horse-drawn buggies and push bikes through varying terrain and weather. This is the story of that trek, the people involved and the history of one of this nation's greatest engineering feats, completed more than 100 years ago by a now legendary figure that they said could never be done.
Well, we're looking in the back of one of the support vehicles for this year's pipeline trek. This car is going to be catering for all of the for 3 of the mountain bikers who are taking part in the event. As you can see, we've got an assortment of a range of gear, ranging from tents, swags, a couple of 25-litre drink containers, food, tools, spare bikes, you name it, we're pretty much catering for it. There's also a case of wine in there for medicinal purposes as well.
My horse is Frosty. He's 7 years old and I bred him. I rode his mother and broke him in, and now we're doing trail rides. We've been doing 30 k's a week for about the past couple of months, down around the Albany, Denmark area, which is where we come from. And we're looking forward to this trek as long as the rain keeps off. So I'm meeting lots of new people, and I'm looking forward to going and seeing the wildflowers out between here and Kalgoorlie. And we hope we get back in one piece.
Hi, I'm Mari. I'm from Albany. My horse's name's Cal, so I thought it'd be a good idea to take him to Kalgoorlie to meet his namesake. We're not very fit, but we're hoping to get a lot fitter along the way. And we certainly appreciate all the support the Shire's given us to help us undertake this trek and provide support along the way and at the start. And we're going to have a great time. Thank you.
Okay, I'm Michael Borlays. I'm the president of the WA Horse Trekkers Club at the moment, probably until the end of this trek, when I suspect everybody will be pretty annoyed and vote me out if this rain keeps up. In terms of the sort of training that we've been doing for the horses, that's probably been most intense over the last 3 months, probably about 4 rides a week, a couple of nights after work, and on the Saturday and Sunday, probably do about an hour and a half, 2 hours on each of those days just to get the horses legged up. The club's put on a couple of extra rides, one of which Lynn managed to make down. I think that was the one that convinced her to actually join the trek and come with us. Is that correct?
Yeah, sure, certainly. It was good fun.
And you've been doing a lot of other training on your horse, have you, Lynn?
Yeah, after work at night time. Yeah, that mainly.
You're saying you're doing a lot of sheep work with the horse, all the stock work. That keep it pretty fit, did it?
Yeah, one of the beauties of working on a farm is that she can get used for work as well.
yeah, it'd be a nice way to be able to do it, I think. A lot better than trying to rush out from the office. I suppose with the other treks that I've done, we've done about 5 or 6 since I joined the club. First one was out at Mount Jackson and from Bullfinch around in the Dimel station area. The one after that was from Hamlin Bay down to Dardanup, or the vice versa. Did one down Rocky Gully, Manjimup area. Another one from Gascoyne Junction along the Lyons River around to Mount Augustus and down to Landor Station. And we did another one up in that area last year, up around, I think it was Mount Augustus Station we started from, off to Wanna Station and back through Cobra Station. So both of my horses have been on a couple of different treks now. One's Odyssey, he's a Anglo-Arab, he's the bay. You'll probably see him arcing up tomorrow morning, putting on a real performance for everybody. And Ammo's the other horse. A friend of mine's going to ride him, and hopefully having the two of them together might keep him a little bit calmer for me for the first couple of days until he settles down. And how's your horse? All ready to go?
Yep, a grey mare. Yeah, she's a bit of a mongrel mix, but she'll do the trek. She'll do the distance.
This is Odyssey. This is the horse that I'll be riding to Kalgoorlie. He's an Anglo-Arab. He's 8 years old. He's not the best behaved horse, so I expect that there'll be some interesting footage of him over the coming weeks. He's going to be, he is shod already. Probably a bit hard to see anything, I'd suspect, in the mud at the way it is, but we think that we'll get about 300 to 400 kilometres out of the shoes. The farrier is going to be doing some reshoeing for probably most people around about Southern Cross. And yes, it's a microphone, you can't eat it. So the farrier coming along, he'll do the reshoeing. My other horse, Ammo, he's the chestnut. He's just going to go through to Merredin, and then he'll come back. But they've both been trained up reasonably well. They've got a lot of miles into their legs so that they're ready to roll, and they should hold up quite well, I think. Some of the other things that are a little bit different from what we normally do with treks is that a lot of people have had these soft canvas bags made so that we can save a lot of room and storage in the floats. We've organised this effectively so that we have something like 4 to 6 people per horse float sharing that facility, and that has the effect, obviously, that space is at a bit of a premium. So we've done everything that we can in terms of reducing the size of anything that we're taking, and yes, you can see from his behaviour that's just the start of it. And yeah, so anything that we could do to make things smaller, more compact, we've looked at those types of things where we can, and just so that we can get enough gear in there for 3 weeks each.
And yes, hi, my name is David Thomas. I'm out here in Mundaring. We're going to head off on the trek tomorrow to Kalgoorlie. It's actually by accident I heard about it. My sister, who lives here in Tujay, sent me a news article which she clipped out of the local newspaper, and I sent an email off to my parents and told them that I was coming almost straight away. They live across the way in Swan View, and this actually Mundaring is my old backyard, as I was raised in Darlington, just around the corner, and I thought this was a great opportunity to come back home and relive childhood days and get to know Australia again after I've been living away from Australia for almost 30 years now. At present I'm living in Denmark and Europe. I sail sailing ships as a living. I'm sailing both with tourists, guests, professional seamen, and we do a little bit of social work with young boys that have sort of like lost their way in the community. And as a hobby, I've taken up horse riding in the last couple of years. And that's sort of what's led my here to Mundaring, is sort of like living a boyhood dream, I guess. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name's Louise. This is Dion from Gourmet Chev-Ups. It is with great pleasure we are here today to sponsor this inaugural event. We would like to provide you with some dinner for this evening and breakfast for first thing tomorrow before you depart. On behalf of Dion and myself, we wish you all the very best for the trek, for the 19-day stint, and we'll hear about it on your return.
All the best.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to declare this trek well and truly on its way.
Thank you for helping us. I'm going to be part of the ceremony.
Set of the Shire History books. Beginning. I'll read it out.
Okay, my name's Robert. We've just completed up to lunchtime on the first stage of the Mundaring to Kalgoorlie trek for the bicentenary of CY O'Connor and the pipeline. Everyone's thoroughly enjoyed themselves. The bikes have performed well and everyone's not too leg sore, going along quite well. We're here at Chidlow Primary School for lunch. This is a break for about an hour before we do the last stage of the journey to Wundowie, where we'll be camping for the night. That's about it. We're thoroughly enjoying ourselves. Why did I join the trip? Well, it's something that I've always wanted to do. Over the years I've thought about doing it. I originally intended doing it by four-wheel drive, and this opportunity arose. I thought, well, what the hell, why not? I'll do it on a push bike. People sort of look at you and say, why the hell would you want to ride from Mundaring to Kalgoorlie? Well, it's historical. CY O'Connor was a great man. It's one of the greatest engineering feats in Australian history. The pipeline itself was a magnificent feat in engineering. And just to be a part of that, riding alongside it, seeing the hardships that those people had to go through to actually lay that pipeline is just a magnificent journey. This is very early days. As it progresses, I expect there to be really good camaraderie amongst the bike riders and the horse people, and just becoming very involved in the whole centenary issue of CY O'Connor and remember him as a great man that he was.
I'm Les Storer, the principal of Chidlow Primary School, and extremely pleased that the Golden Pipeline horse and bicycle trek has come past our school and been able to stop, have their lunch here and talk to many of the kids. It's an excellent idea, this trip, and we'll be following fairly closely its progress as it goes along, and this gives the kiddies something to watch on the internet, and as they know some of the people in it, it adds that little bit of extra interest. So we're really pleased to be a very small part of it, and we wish them well for the next 18 days.
Okay, it's Robert here. We have a live update from Doodlakine. Day 5 on the trek to Kalgoorlie, Mundaring to Kalgoorlie trek. Everyone's thoroughly enjoying themselves. So far we've passed through Wundowie, gone through Northam and arrived now in Doodlakine. Tomorrow we're heading off to Merredin. The pipeline trek's been really good so far. The going's been quite easy. Hasn't been too tough at all. There's been slight undulating ground, flat most of the way, bit of sand, a few creek crossings, things like that. It's been really good. Everyone's got through. There's been no injuries, no dropouts, nothing like that. Few sore legs, that's all. There's really good camaraderie going on here. Everybody helps each other, and they all seem to be thoroughly enjoying what they're doing. We're about a quarter of the way through the trek, and Everything's going great. What more can you say?
Joe. Yeah? I got a 3-man 10.
We haven't got a third man.
Well, Lynn, you know, there's 2 of you.
Yeah, that's close to the age.
At the moment, we're all cleaned up, camp set up in the school grounds at Doodlakine, and we're about to head down this evening to Doodlakine Pub for one of their world famous meals. And everyone's looking forward to that. The horses have been going really well. A few have dropped out, only temporarily, due to saddle sore or some small thing like that. And it's great. What more can I say? The weather's fantastic. It's getting better each day. The group's bonded very well. Some people feel a bit low at times, and so everybody gets together and pushes them on, gets behind them, lifts their spirits up, and does really well in that respect. We've had our first punches yesterday. Both ladies got the cat eyes through their tyres all at the same time, so we just quickly ran off the road and changed those over. That was pretty quick, done in about 15 minutes. And worked out really well, yeah.
But truly, we're really pleased to actually welcome you into the Shire of Kellerberrin. You are a
I already have. I put Andrew V3. I've lost 2 of my
This is our Jilgi lunch. Just pour them in it.
They're absolutely beautiful. I could eat them all.
Alright. Do you want to take them off then?
Have you tasted them?
Not bad. Yeah. They're good.
Catering on the trek was mainly a do-it-yourself approach. Gas cookers and campfire cooking with a norm. There was great rivalry in the damper and bread making competitions over the campfire. Some of the creations could have competed for the top spot at the National Frisbee Championships.
Basil and paprika and garlic.
Oh,
and mixed up with beer.
That is brilliant.
What were the other ingredients?
Basil and paprika, and it's got to go in the hot oven and double its size again before we cook it. It's been sitting in the car to make it warm enough with the windows all up, otherwise it wouldn't rise.
Nancy mixed it all up, you see, and we just washed over it to make sure it was going to turn out perfect, which it has.
The number 8 pump station, located near Boondah, was decommissioned in the 1960s and could still be operational even today with minimal effort. Walking into the station was an experience itself. It felt as if the workers had just finished work and gone home for the day. Such was the atmosphere inside the building, with the smell of grease and oil hanging heavy in the air. Tools and spare parts still lay about on the floor and workbenches as if only just put down for the end of day's work. Geez, a little bit hot in here too.
Want the nails out of that shoe, Mike?
Yes, thanks, man.
Really.
We're just in lunch, aren't we?
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Very. Now the easterly's dropped, you can feel the heat in the sun.
Yeah, yeah, and the countryside just changed dramatically, didn't it? It was just a few k's back there with all red.
Absolutely.
That's a neat little gadget on that, isn't it?
Yeah, a locker.
I've never seen it on one before.
No.
There, turn off.
Rightio, now you're watching
He was ready to roll before. Ready to roll. Ready to roll. Down he goes. Good on you, Bucky.
Check up and see what's happened up there.
Yeah, they could have had a crash with that train.
That's no lemon. No lemons with it.
Yeah.
You look like you're tempted to jump on and go for a ride.
The ride was great. It was our first experience of going through without a clearly defined track. So we might have been said to be bush bashing.
Excellent.
Well done.
I just want to hear how your ride was this morning.
Fantastic.
Yeah? Did you have, was it a fairly undefined trail today, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it was a really nice track, you know, as in not too sandy and not too hard.
Yeah.
Just really nice we just cantered along and had a few trots and
Do you enjoy it?
yeah. The horses really like that sort of track.
Yeah.
You know, they're struggling in the sand, they're working too hard. Not that I ever see sand, I live in the hills.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's good.
That was great.
Yeah?
Absolutely super.
Did he enjoy it?
Yep, good track.
Is it his 4th birthday today?
4th birthday today.
Birthday boy.
When these chaps said we never heard the train yesterday, I thought, oh yeah, how could you not hear the train? But it just happened to us. We were just riding along, chat, as you do, and then suddenly the train appeared. Luckily it was only one carriage, but we never heard it. Never heard it. So you sort of
you
think,
don't
well,
hear it until it's right on.
no. It was quite funny because I thought, oh, twits.
Perfect. Beautiful.
Town community groups along the way added variety to our evening meals by providing home-cooked lasagnas, salads, barbecues and desserts after a hard day's ride. Very different to the days of the diggers, and we didn't have to worry about the washing up.
Yep. About 20 kilometres. Hello.
That's actually quite good.
Going home! I don't want to be here!
Did you get that, Martin, or were they too quick? Oh, John.
Faster, faster!
A Baduri.
That's actually very good.
Ooh, bit of chook.
Sorry, I'll trust you with a lot of things, but not that.
Ask her how the nipper
What's wrong, Andrew? She has
Nothing's
as
wrong.
well.
Nothing's ever wrong, Barbara.
No,
You
I
can't
know
be
that.
wrong.
I've learned that. This is what he's having fun.
You gotta
We're
have
having
fun.
fun.
Bit of chat.
Get it together.
I think it's a cyclist.
First part was nice and hard with those steep hills.
Well, 100 years ago, C.Y. O'Connor completed his engineering feat putting the pipeline through to the goldfields, and obviously that was a significant bonus to the region because it established all the industry, the mining industry, and helped it flourish in the Goldfields region.
It's been amazing, really. I had no idea that bicycles played such a part in the early exploration of this place anyway. And I didn't realise I'd be fit enough to do it at the end. But I'm really fit now and it's just been great. And meeting all the people. I'm not a horse person. I've learnt what social animals horses are. And the pipeline history has been really good.
The last day of the trek was one of euphoria mixed with relief. Rising early on the day and packing up after breakfast was a sombre affair, as one would reflect the hard Spartan lives that the pipe layers led and the deaths that occurred amongst them during the construction period. It was then that you realised that the end was near, and no matter how tired you may have felt after the weeks on the trail, you just kept on lapping up the adventure of it all. As you neared Kalgoorlie, you started to come across signs of civilization, and the feelings of wanting to be back in the bush would start to pick away at the back of your mind. Once we entered Kalgoorlie and arrived at the racecourse where our last night would be spent, with a sense of having achieved something great, challenging. We had made it. It was party time. And now there is time to reflect and look forward to seeing family and friends, to share what has been a most memorable trek.
Which way, fellas?
Berry. I'm the president of the Shire of Mundaring. Mundaring, as you know, is where you get your water from. So what these famous trekkers have done over the past 3 weeks is they've walked the pipeline. And they've trekked the pipeline, and there is a website that's documenting all that. And we're here today because of a great favour by Neil Urquhart and the City of Kalgoorlie Island, and we're so pleased to be here. We've made efforts and you've made tremendous effort in welcoming us to your city. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Well, to the wonderful painters who caught me unawares, coming in early. Congratulations on your endeavour. Obviously, it's a very important occasion to underline your 140th centenary celebration, and what better way than to have a trek to Kalgoorlie Holder quickly anyway. So congratulations for your efforts over the preceding week or so. I'm sure it was quite interesting. I'd rather have a bike actually than try on a horse, but it's great to see that you put the time in and the endeavours that you've included with me today. So I wish you well, and I think I'll turn to each of you.
Good night, psychos. Good night.